Welcome back to another 3DX tutorial. Today we're talking about grouping. Now, grouping in 3DX is similar to Java in that you still have your glue and your paste tools here, but there's a lot of new things as well, things that can save you some time, and I'll show you what those are. So the first thing we need to do is create some performers. So let's create some performers. I'm going to go just create a line, 24 performers at a two-step interval, start assign. I'll just keep the X and I'll keep it blue here, accept. And now I've got it. I like to have the symbol over top of the puck. I'm also going to give them a label for this tutorial. F1 will make them flutes. And I hit the plus sign so that it labels them from left to right, flute 1 through 24. And then while I'm here, I'm going to type in flute and then click the arrow. So now everything should be labeled properly. If you were to go to your castless editor, it would say flute 1. It would have flute name under there. So that's good. All right. So now in grouping in Pyware is a big thing. It's an important thing to help you with writing with speed, with accuracy, using the tools and not getting bogged down and always having to click every single individual and move them around the page. So grouping is really important. Now, a lot of the grouping options that used to be found under a glue and knife tool, which are here still, by the way, if you need to use them, are also always available up here at the top. And there's a couple new methods of doing it. Now, you can keep the existing grouping. This is the way that the form was created. So in this case, grouped from left to right, where the yellow would be the first person that would be assigned to a new form. So let me show you, for example, if I were to take an arc tool and I wanted to make this straight line into an arc, I would design this from left to right, and I wouldn't have to mess around with the assigning because everyone's going to the proper place. So I always tell my students in my tutorial, design from left to right or right to left. Whatever you do, try to design your elements in a way and keep them grouped in a way where you can move quickly. So you wouldn't want to necessarily design an arc from right to left because then all of your people will be messed up. You'd have to hit start assign. You'd have to go to this thing and hit flip, and then you'd fix it. Now that's a quick fix. But sometimes when you get into some of the drill that we're going to write, it gets really complicated. So it's good to keep things properly grouped. Now, there's a fast way to do these groupings without having to glue and knife, a manual selection. So you can select who you want to have grouped and who you don't. So you click on that and then you can click off. So I just want these people to go. That type of thing. You can go, these ones, group by angle snake, group by zigzag. These are more for like block forms, so I'll show you that in a second. But one good one is this little arrow tool. Now, if you wanted the opposite way to be the first person, you can just go like that, come around like that, whatever you'd like. If you like to split it in the middle, it has a split focus, whatever it might be. That is a way to group it. And I like the arrow. I use the arrow quite a bit. I also use this one, regroup like secondary count, this little arrow back. That tends to help. Also, without having to go to the glue or knife tool, you can hit split. Say you wanted every other person to become a line. You could hit A, B. So it kind of A, B's your form. So now, and when you highlight this first person, it's every other person. So the even people would go down. You could have them, come apart so that when you move the form, this type of idea, every other person goes. Now, I didn't even have to use the push tool because in 3DX, there are a lot of just live tools. Now, I'll have it go back real quick. Let's take it back. Just hit delete. Now, I'm going to group them back and get rid of the AB thing. So let's get rid of the AB. And let's just go back to our arrow tool. And there you have it. So you click that arrow tool and all of a sudden, everyone is grouped properly. Okay, let's make a box because I want to show you some of the ones up here, the group by snake, group by zigzag, that type of idea. Now, I'm going to use the block tool here. Now, when you use the block tool, the first line of the block, and the first dot, so if this is our first performer, will be wherever you put the first dot. So the first dot of the corner of the block, I'll have it go down here, and then I'll go up here, because I want 4 to kind of do this type of idea into the block. 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. And then I'll make it a 4 by 4. Now that should give me the assignment. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Next line, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that looks pretty good. Now, it is a little bit off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up just a little bit like this to maybe just make it a little bit more even across the field, and then put it in the center. That way it's symmetrical. So you can see that. All right. So when you use that block tool, wherever you click first, that's where that first performer is going to go, and then it'll follow. So if I clicked back here and went down and then over, it would do the opposite way. But of course, if you ever get it wrong, you can just create the form and you can clear it out and click on each individual performer. But again, left to right designing helps you to use the tools to their full potential. Now, say you wanted to go on from here to a different form. You've currently got kind of a zigzag idea to your form grouping. So you can find different ways to do it. So this is an angle by snake. So you can click on that and the arrow comes up. Maybe if you wanted it the other way around, it kind of comes down and does this snake idea. Or if you wanted to create a form on the next page like that, like say maybe on the next page you wanted to do a follow the leader, this would be a way to do it. And then, you could do that type of thing, and they all follow the leader around the form. So that would be a good way to group things. So angle by snake can be useful. Angle by zigzag. So in this case, down and it comes up. If you want it the other way, up this way, or if you wanted it that way, or if you wanted to come over here and start designing this way and down, the angle by zigzag is a good way to do it. But you can always reverse or group like the secondary count. If you did have a different grouping, mine was the same. Or if you wanted to go from here and split, you could do split. Like say you could say groups of 4. This will probably get rid of the zigzag. So now you've got 6 groups of 4. So there's lots of different ways to do this and helpful ways to group things. And so now I've got these groups of 4. Now, how is this helpful? Well, this is helpful if everyone was being selected every time you wanted to just get these 4. So let me show you. So before, you were like this. Every time you wanted to just move these 4 people, everyone got selected. But a quick way to do it is just to go to split, groups of 4, bang. Now you can go one group at a time and design the next page. So say you wanted the next page to look something like that. Start a sign. It's going to tell me I have too many, but that's okay. So you wanted it to be like that. Okay. Well, you could take that, and since you've got groups of 4, you can hit Control C. You can just grab your next group, maybe move it over here. Grouping order is the same. Maybe they go back this way. Accept. Grab this one again, or actually you don't even need to do that. Just move it over. Grouping order the same. Grab these guys. I'm just hitting copy. I'm hitting paste. I'm moving these forms over. Grouping order. Accept. And because I was able to group them properly, I can move quickly in creating my next form. And because I had them grouped like that, I can quickly move through creating these forms quickly. So these new ways to group things are along the ribbon at the top are really important to become familiar with in this group here at the top. Now, of course, there are ways to do this just like before. You can always go to the glue tool, and up here, a lot of the same things are available. So if you needed to regroup it, you could hit this regroup all tool, and you can do things in a very similar fashion. Just click and then click the next one, the next one, and the next one, and that should show you, how you want to group them. You can group to the end, find the next performer. It'll find kind of the next person, that type of idea. So you can always click off, and it'll show the finger here on the side. Then you can just drag your finger around the field. And of course, if it were a straight line or a curve or something, you could click on this tool here, and it would group to the end, which is only that. So for this page, what we'll do is I'll just put them back to the line. And because they're grouped properly, and I did it from right to left because the yellow was on the right side, I can accept the grouping. Okay. So all of those options are still here, just like usual. You can cut, knife, you can glue, you can do the split, all of that's there, but it's all pretty much up here anyway at any given time. So it's almost like a fast edit menu for grouping that can keep you organized, keep your elements on your drill file organized, and help you move quickly through your drill file. So play around with this. I've gotten really used to using this arrow and making the arrow a good part of my writing. And it's become something that has helped me move a lot quicker in the program. So I hope this video was helpful for you. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.